Welcome back, survivors! I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Ecosystem, where I did want to get this video done a little bit earlier because I can't remember what the version number is, but the information update came out for Ecosystem on the 16th. It's just that I want to cover it sooner, but the only notice I got was like 2 days before that was coming out that, oh hey, we're dropping this, here's your beta code if you'd like. I'm afraid as much as I've been trying to be pretty proactive and productive with the channel, 2 days is not quite enough notice to cover something like that. And with how packed the channel's schedule has been, I figured I didn't really have a spot for it. But with Saturdays opening up now, I figured we'll at least go and see what this sort of has to entail with it. So the information update, it has you able to do a number of new things. One of them is supposedly control the mutation rate of the creatures. So that's the big thing I want to play around with. We'll just do creative mode. Abyssal, trench. Maybe we'll try something a little easy. I think reef or valley might be the easiest ones to get just started with. Let me see reef. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. So, okay, creative mode. Yeah, so that shouldn't be too bad. I just want to see where I might be able to find stuff like that. Okay, this is it, F5. It's an entirely new thing here. So the easiest way, again, to start this off is probably just figuring out... Alright, readjusted the camera controls. Okay, so okay, let me try to think of what is the best... I think maybe just like these Amazon sword plants would be a good start here. And maybe mix seagrass as well. Okay, so we'll just try that in. And we'll just add a forager species in. Okay, so then this seems to be... Okay, animal population. Looks like these are probably just a lot of the information for... are these... No, there are a number of different species here. Yeah, so you can actually, do alphabetic sorting for it. Each fish gets its own individual name. I'm not sure what the... Okay, I see. So that means, I guess, progenitor of that species. Yeah, so we can see the animal population. Right now we've got... Right now it's 18 at total. Plant population is right about there, and then that's the 2 things there to kind of show off. So this gives you a lot more information just in regards to what's going on. And then you can, say, boost an animal's status. Oh, okay, so we actually have our first, established species more, which is called the... What is the species name? I think Teresa is the name of, the... Yeah, so the species name is Halpon. Oh, right up here. I'm just being dumb, sorry. A lot of new stuff that I haven't looked up too much how it goes. Yeah, so you'll have the species name, the population, the diet, how it mates, mutation rate. Okay, so you can actually increase to the individual animals. How high can you actually make that go? 10. 10's the max number, so I'm actually going to see about... Okay, how do I get out of that? Okay, there we go. So I'm going to get the mutation rate right up there, because one of the things about Ecosystem before is... It seemed like maybe it took a very long time for the animals to, evolve and grow. But with the mutation rate, that should increase how diverse and how they change, just as things go. Population is going up, which is good. Oh, and there's another species. And yeah, you can actually put in, population caps, and I guess, here we go. If population dips below this number, species can no longer be targeted by predators. That is a way of also ensuring, there's not a kind of ecosystem crash that can happen in nature, where there's overpredation and entire species goes extinct in the region. And then we got here. Okay, and then you can actually see, how they've gone about and what things have changed there. And then you kind of have, a picture of the current look of it. So I'm going to put you up to No, okay, well, we lost a species there. I'll put the mutation rate again up to 10. And one of the things, like, some comments in the ecosystem, I had mentioned that I would have liked to see, like, more evolution at play, such as, like, limbs evolving to grow or things like that. I think the comment was like, well, that's not how it's supposed to work, per se, or, like, you shouldn't have limbs defined as certain types. But evolution kind of works in that regard. It's going to take what works and keep honing that. There's not a perfect form that's always going to try to get to. Like, there's no final form, per se, when it comes to evolution. It's basically the act of something adapting more and more to its environment, almost to an extreme that can actually be bad if the environment changes rapidly on it. You can actually find all kinds of examples of evolution being super, super weird, that don't seem like they were smart things to have done, but that's just how it evolved. So we've got another species here called the Lidsar. Yeah, everything's forager right now, which is expected. And then, yeah, I can see, like, there's all kinds of stuff. So, depending on what achievement or what thing they kind of do, it goes into the tree and expands. So, Alana here has had things like body connection rotates, neuron weight change, stuff like that. So, you'll be able to see all of the progress as it goes along there. Maybe we'll keep mutation rate at 1 for that. And one of the things about doing ecosystem now on Saturdays, actually I should put down a few more plants, shouldn't I? With me doing them on Saturdays, that opens it up to be another, like, long-running series. Because before this, I was doing the Long Darks, Sandbox, and then just the epilogue of the Whiteout Challenge. So, they didn't exactly do that great on the channel, but it was a nice thing that weekends could be a little bit more of a break, and I can just do, like, the slower burn series, which is exactly what Ecosystem falls into, in my opinion. It's kind of like a slow burn series that can grow a bit more with time. It's not something that's going to rapidly, like, even if I increase, like, the time scale here, it only goes up to 2 times speed, so stuff that does take, like, generations to advance, I can actually just keep going at it week to week. Okay, it's good to see. Well, I mean, these guys look like they're super speedy, but that's because they're going at 2 times their regular rate. If we slow that down, they'll probably look a lot. Actually, they got a little bit of burst to them. But I do like that already it seems like the animals are kind of picking up how they can use their limbs much more. Like this guy, he's actually able to steer and go right through things. It's not just like idle floating of trying to get around. But truth be told, I wonder... There's not more I can do with the plant population, is there? No, it's basically just put them down and leave them there. There's not a way to, like, speed up how quickly they'll grow from that. Then you have global log of everything they're doing. If you do want to get rid of something, or like an entire species, you do have the option. You can show which ones have gone extinct or not, so... Yeah, this one was basically a lot more quality of life and system additions to see things and improve that. And I think it's going to be very helpful for people. Like, it's one of those ones where I know one of the things I had to do because I had accidentally made the population a bit too big was try to cull species down. Now you have a much simpler way of doing that. I don't think too much else has super been changed, though. Like, by that I mean I don't think there's been changes really to, like, the creature editor or... what else? Creature editor, kind of like how things spawn in. Like, the sort of god tools is, again, just kind of like drag, boost, or kill. Well, cull. I guess that is kind of a better term. Feels a bit more like scientific to use that than just kill them all or kill. But yeah, I'll just kind of throw these down around the areas and just try to build some stuff out. I really don't know. I guess, again, because this is a creative mode, it doesn't matter because you're not super going for, like, ecosystem health here or need to. And I could always just do, like, a... Actually, maybe that's what I should do more. It's just, instead of, like, having to click, you can drag, so make these big patches of area. But I'll just make some of these around some of these spots and see what happens now that we're giving them plenty of food in that. So not a few miscellaneous species. Which, yeah, don't look like they've been doing too hot from this guy floating basically belly up. So let's go back into some of the information. Like, you can sort through by just their individual species to see how they're doing. And another nice thing is the tooltips over stuff. So you have things like behavior, currently doing, how old. Okay, so that's what energy is. How much the creature is eaten and governs how many eggs it can release. So that's good to know. I actually just realized I'm going to have to probably squeeze my face into a certain little spot now that I'm looking because of how much information is now at your disposal. Speed's a weird one. I'm guessing that means like current travel speed. Like, is it just floating dead? Like, perhaps this one? Yeah, like literally this poor one here. It's not moving at all. Are you even alive still, or are you dead? Oh, you're apparently mating. Not exactly the most thrilling in the bedroom, is it? Yeah, so then mate is... how many times? Oh, actually, do we have anything that's... No. Nothing actually has. Okay. You know what, let's bump that up to 2 times and maybe something eventually will. Size, neuron count, number of limbs, and then the options there. Yeah, so it's... like, not every update to a game in progress is going to be something like fancy to show off content-wise, but it's going to... but you have some that are quality of life and more into the mechanics of it, which is exactly what the information update here is. And now here's a lot more of a look at, like, your phylogenetic tree. As you can see, like, the previous incarnations of them. Well, in a way. I mean, that just kind of looks like a big blob, but then, again, a lot of the animals kind of are just big blobs, so... went from that to actually getting the limbs a bit more developed. It kind of changed the way the limbs were situated on the body. And then joint limits narrowed down. So I do... oh, here we go. Has the side... okay, so that's what those little ones are. You get little medals for depending on how well they're rated for, I guess, energy to them. So, looks like Noble here... oh. I was kind of hoping to go right into things with that, but... let's see. Yeah, it's interesting. I guess if there's a appearance change, perhaps that's when you'll get pictures. Either that, or maybe there's a random interval it decides to kind of use for getting a picture of what the change is, or the current one looks like. I was just trying to see, because... okay, Arlene, here's the one that has highest, had highest energy. Oh, and Theo also had. And then you also actually do have in that little window there... yeah, it tells you... you actually gotta see through the animal's eyes there, so you can see exactly what it's seeing. I actually can't remember if that was there or not. It might be new with the update, but I don't feel it is. But again, if you want to see what the creature you've selected is seeing, that's prime way of doing it there. No. And all of a sudden, everything is almost like completely dead. What happened here? Like, is it just because there's not enough, like, foliage, or they don't know how to mate? No, I'm going to... oh, no. Okay, something weird happened there. It almost seemed like the species couldn't support itself. I wonder if that's because of... there's not enough food, or something else. Like, either that or maybe they're once... because apparently that's what all the, like, bright blue specks are supposed to be, like, the eggs in that in the water. So I wonder if they're almost like trout, or there's something programmed where after they reproduce, they die off? It's kind of hard to say. But I did want to cover the information's update, because the developers behind Ecosystem were very generous and also kind in letting me know that this update was coming out and giving me the beta access. I didn't quite have the time to make full use of it, but it was nice that I got the consideration of that. Let's put you there and see what happens now we've got a lot more plant life. Okay, yeah, you can see a lot of stuff popped up in miscellaneous, so if we take a look here now... let's sort by alphabetical, or I guess it's reverse. Yeah, here's alphabetical. So yeah, quite a few different species currently at the moment. Although some things dying of old age, even though they just, like, started into life. But then you can see how the populations sort of go, increase, decrease, like population crashes, and then complete restorations. What does the Wicel look like? I wonder if there's a way from in here you can select an animal and actually, like, go right to it. It just doesn't look like there is, though. Like, I called them off, but I don't exactly want to do that to them. I think maybe the way you do that is... well, it's basically just a little flatfish, and now it's gone. So there's a nice few things like that here. I figured I'd just cover this. If you guys do want to see this as a recurring Saturday series, maybe what I'll do is go back into like more of a proper game mode that does use the point systems and everything there instead of just creative. Because creative is the one where, well, again, like how I finished off before the little hiatus for ecosystem, I made the almost like Subnautica map stand-in, which I thought came out kind of nicely. It does show you that there was a lot of opportunities to create and do stuff. I do think creative mode, I don't think we actually got to see things like ecosystem health, because I think that actually is something that, like, creative mode bypasses in order to just let you have full creative range with it. So I don't know exactly how much, like, the ecosystem health might play into, like, the species in creative mode. Like, how their numbers are, or if they regulate anything back and forth or not. That's probably something where, if we go back into more like the... I'm not sure what I would call that. I wouldn't say it's like a campaign of sorts, because that would sort of lean to... although that might be an interesting thing to do. It's like, you're given different biomes of each kind, and you have to make a certain amount of, like, species or population in each as, like, your goals, and then move on to the next. I guess it's more challenge mode, where you have to work at getting the ecosystem health, obtaining the points, and just kind of like having that feedback loop in a way. Because, I mean, creative you can put a few things in, but it does seem like despite all the greenery here, a number of populations are crashing pretty hard. The only one that's doing pretty good is the Wicel. I'm not entirely sure why these guys are doing so good. Is there something in here? Possibly, but I honestly don't know for sure. Like, there's a bunch of back and forth and stuff for how things, like, came about. Oh wow, it's really, really wide for how much actually happened. And it's all, like, I guess kind of grouped into this one, which is, like, the ultimate of the species right now. Well, I figured this would just be a way to kind of cover the information system, or the information update, show you guys a little bit of what it is, and also see what you guys are maybe looking for as a new Saturday series. With The Long Dark done, I was thinking of trying to figure out another survival series to bring back, but I'm not sure which one, or if I should try looking again a whole new one. Again, the big thing I want to do is grow the channel, and right now it's been, like, a slow burn. We're working our way up towards 500, which is a nice milestone, but I still would like to try to figure out what would be just enjoyed the most on the channel. So with that, I think just how Ecosystem normally is, because it's almost like one of those passive games where you just do a little bit, leave it for a long time, and then check back in how it's doing. So I'll leave this episode of Ecosystem right here, and you guys let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking. If you'd like to see a recurring series on Saturdays of it, you have a game in mind you wouldn't mind seeing covered by me, or you think there's a game I might enjoy to cover, anything at all, just be sure to leave in comments right down below. But for now, we will end things off here. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this little bit of Ecosystem to just go into some of the details of the information update, and hopefully I will catch you in the next video or episode. Please remember, as always, survivors, to take care and stay alive.